Hi, I'm Suzanne and this is Bailey. Welcome to our crafty corner. It's been a few weeks since the previous episode. Life's got in the way again and stopped me from filming. I also have ME, also known as chronic fatigue. So I've had a few Fridays where I normally record where I just haven't been feeling up to it after work. And my husband also works shifts, so he's been around a few Fridays. And I don't like filming when he's around. But yeah, life's been pretty busy. I have managed to get 5 finished objects done in the last few weeks, so we'll get on to them. The first one is, these were just about to be cast on last episode. This is the Dust in the Frost socks by Kelly Menzies, also known as Row and Kades. This is part of a 12 Cosy Toe KAL that she's hosting this year. This is the second pattern, so that's them done. The yarn is Knitting Goddess Who No Longer Dies, and if I remember correctly, the colourway was Jiminy Cricket. I also managed to finish another pair of vanilla socks. This is the last of my self-striping yarn from Polka Dot Creeks, and the colourway is Smell My Feet. That's them. Sorry, I keep looking down because my notes are on the floor here. The next finished object's the big one. I finally finished the Dartmoor sweater. I dyed the yarn myself. It's chunky weight. I can't remember if I mentioned in the previous episode that it's a bit too big for me and there's too much fabric under the arms and stuff. So I got one of my sisters to try it on. She's bustier than me and it fits her better, so we've decided this is going to be her birthday present in July. I doubt she'll be wearing it because it should be warm, although this is Scotland, so she might. If not, she's got it for the winter when it comes in. I still need to wash it and block it. I'm hoping it'll grow a bit in length. It looks a bit cropped at the moment, and my sister is a bit taller than me, but I've no yarn left, so I'm hoping it fits. But I'll get that washed and blocked in the next few weeks, and then we'll get it wrapped for her birthday. The next finished object is also an acquisition. I got a couple of acquisitions. They didn't last long in my stash before they actually got used, so there will be no acquisitions showing you them as they come scanned up. This is the Enchanted Evening Cap by Amy of Happy Little Yarns, and the yarn is from Siobhan's Crafts in the purple Poppin' Candy and DK. It's interesting how it's it's knitted in the round. It's kind of, and there you go, the ME kicks in and I've forgotten the word. Pulled differently on either side. So yeah, this is going in my present box. It'll be a gift for my sister-in-law at Christmas. And my final works in progress, finished object, is also the other acquisition, and this is Pablo. I haven't crocheted in according to Ravelry since 2012, so I'm a bit rusty. Wouldn't say I was an expert at it to begin with, but it's been a while. So he is flawed. He's got a bit wonky. He's out of shape. He's got a coney bum, coney head. The pattern isn't on Ravelry. It's a one I found on the internet, and I think it's been converted from another language into English, and not all the instructions on how to assemble the dog is on it. So it's been, I will like how to crochet on his eyebrows or anything. It's just kind of photographs. So I've kind of wrong it, and his ears are too big. But yeah, he's very wonky. There is a story behind the reason why I've crocheted this. I don't know if I mentioned it before. Bailey is a rescue. We've had her just over 3 years. We got her from Phoenix French Bulldog Rescue. I used to volunteer for them, but last year I had to kind of pull away from it for a while due to family issues. So one of the dogs that I was involved in with his surrender and getting to his foster family and all that, Kind of, I got a soft spot for him because he had to move a few times. He wouldn't settle, and different things going on with him. So he was around a few foster homes, but eventually we found out he had neurological issues, and unfortunately he had to be put to sleep. So the crocheted version is wonky, kind of goes with the neurological issues. So yeah, so this is my version of Pablo. The real Pablo, I was waiting for him to get adopted because I bought him a little bow tie to go in his collar. The bow tie is still in the box with Bailey's bandanas. So I'm going to buy either some ribbon or even a small collar and attach the bow tie to this Pablo, and we'll put him in on the shelf or something. So yeah, it's just soft spot for one of the dogs that didn't quite make it to his forever home. So I do have 2 works in progress at the moment. One's a pair of socks, because there's always socks. They're living in this bag that my cousin gave me at Christmas. I'm not sure where she got it from, but it does say the Blue Rabbit House on the label inside. These socks will be from my dad. They're also one of the acquisitions I got this month. As I said, the acquisitions didn't stay in my stash very long. The yarn is from Chiffon's Crafts, and the colorway is Gold Mine. And here's Sockway. I did mention in the first episode, I'm from South Africa. Although my dad didn't work in the mines full time, he did go down them occasionally with his jobs. So the colorway is appropriate. The pattern is also appropriate because the pattern is Josie from Claire Divine. And if you didn't know, Josie is a nickname for Johannesburg, which is roughly where we lived. So these are getting done. I do have one finished. Most of the pattern is in twisted rib. And then the other side is like columns with these V lines across them. I'll post a picture of the actual pattern properly. I changed the heel because the heel from the pattern, the ribbon continues down on the heel, but I changed it to a fish lips kiss heel. So you'll probably not see these completely finished. My dad's birthday's at the end of the month, so I should have them finished this week, and then I can get them washed, blocked, and given to him. The other whip I have is a tee, which I plan on putting some doodles on. I think I might have mentioned it in the previous episode. I have discussed it with a couple of people and posted on my Instagram. So I like the shaping of the rocket tee, but the gauge on that's really loose because it's for finger and weight and lace weight if you're striping it in that. So I've used the pattern as a guide for the shaping, but I've obviously had to tighten up the gauge quite a bit for the doodles. So I've come down to a 2.75mm needle and having to do a lot of maths to get it to the right size. It's not joined in the round yet. I'm still working on the shoulder shaping, the raglan. And I think I've got about 16 rows still to go before I can get to joining it in the round. I'll have to get the measuring tape out just to double check. So the main colorway, body of the colorway is from Trilly Hooked. I've got 4 skeins of this. I've got 2 caked up and one I'm working on. And the colorway is Light Fury on a standard sock base. As I said, I've got 4 of them, so I've got, with the smaller gauge, I've got plenty to do the top. I've also got 5 mini skeins. They're also, they are also from Truly Hooked, and they were just called a bouquet called Winterish. I do buy quite a few yarns off of Truly Hooked, and she's also got her Advent advertised at the moment. I haven't bought the minis for the Advent this year because I've still got the last 2 years in my stash. But I have ordered the sock set she's doing this year. Also ordered the sock set from Polka Dot Creek as well this year. So that's all my adverts from this year. Yeah, so my plan is to put the doodles on the arm. I'm going to bring it down a bit and put a bit of a cuff on it. So I'm planning on doing a couple of little smaller doodles like paw prints and that here on the two arms. And then I do have the doodle books. And at the bottom, if I put the hearts from the Valentine's doodle set and the paws from the dog doodle set on the arms, I'm going to put them on the bottom as well, but I'm going to also put the Frenchy ones at the bottom. I do have quite a few sets of the doodles. I've not done any of them yet. Sorry, I have. I bought the book and I used the polar bears and a Musselburgh hat. I'll stick a picture in it. I did that last year. Most of it was knitted at the hospital when my dad was in the hospital. So he's convinced I only came to the hospital to visit him just so I could get some knitting time in, because since that's all I did while I was there. But yeah, so that's what my plan is for the tea. I think it's going to take a while since the stitches are so tiny. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah. But I'm loving the colourway. And yes, I do enjoy watching the How to Train Your Dragon movies. Verity did have this in the Dark Fury, but I missed it, so that's why we have the Light Fury. There's nothing. What else? I do have a new cast on planned. It's my next sock for the Cosy Toe KAL, 12 Cosy Toe KAL. It's called the Daedalus socks. I'll stick a picture in. I haven't been stash diving yet for it, so I haven't done that yet. And I might cast on another Frenchie. I do have the black and white chenille, whether it will look exactly like Bailey, I doubt it, because Bailey is white all down her stomach and her legs, and then she's got that white band around her neck. I don't think my crochet works that up to par to do some colour work on it, so we'll try and get it as close as possible to what it looks like with Miss Bailey. So those are my planned cast-ons coming up. It's been a busy few weeks, as I said. And I mentioned Bailey is a rescue from Phoenix French Bulldog Rescue, and that I used to volunteer for them. This year, when I decided to go back to the volunteering, I joined Paws for Hope Bulldog Rescue. So we've done a road train for them recently. We drove all the way up to Inverness to drop the dog off to its new foster family. Bailey did go with us this time, but because Bailey is a bit reactive to other dogs, she was in the back seat belted in like she normally is, and we had to put the other dog in the crate in the boot. And we had to keep them separated every time we took them out for a walk. But it was kind of funny because he had the same harness on as Bailey did that day, and the two of them had cauliflower ears because they both burst the blood vessel in their ear flaps. So Bailey's is nearly finished. Their steroids are now finished for that. We didn't have to get an operation on that, thankfully. She's a bit tired today. We were at the beach yesterday, so she had plenty of running around to do yesterday. But yeah, if you've got any questions about the rescues, Emmy, anything really, just ask me, or you can find me on Instagram. I'm there most days. I post updates on my knitting every week and stuff like that. Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.